This holiday season, you might be looking for nutritious, convenient meals to keep you energized on jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service, can help you fuel up fast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle while tackling all your holiday to-dos. Too busy with holiday plans to cook, but want to make sure you're eating well? With Factor, skip the extra trip to the grocery store and the chopping, prepping, and cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy. When you're too busy running around to plan lunch, Factor has you covered with lunch to go. Effortless, wholesome meals like grain bowls and salad toppers that are ready to eat when you're on the go, no microwave required. Head to factormeals.com/MC911pod50 and use code MC911pod50 to get 50% off. That's code MC911pod50 at factormeals.com/MC911pod50 to get 50% off. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Whether your resolution is to save money, eat better, or stress less, HelloFresh is here to help you do all three. Say hello to your most delicious year yet with fresh ingredients and chef-crafted recipes at a price you'll like delivered right to your door. So you've resolved to actually sit down and eat dinner around the table, but what do you do about those nights when your schedule is packed? Turn to HelloFresh's lineup of quick and easy meals, including their 15-minute recipes designed to help minimize mealtime stress. Every single meal I've had from HelloFresh has had easy-to-follow instructions, fresh ingredients, and when it's done, I feel like I'm out at my favorite restaurant. Go to HelloFresh.com/MC911free and use code MC911free for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/MC911free with code MC911free.
Introducing new and advanced Benefiance Wrinkle Smoothing Eye Cream by Shiseido. Now even better to boost smoothness around the eyes. 96% saw reduced wrinkles and diminished dark circles in just 7 days. Targets 5 types of eye wrinkles, including around the eye, inner corner, under eye, crow's feet, and frown lines, plus dark circles and puffiness. For smoother, brighter eyes, find Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Smoothing Eye Cream at Macy's.com or a Macy's near you. Consumer tested by 110 women.
Are you struggling to lose weight and keep it off? Tired of wasting time and money on starvation diets that lead to more frustration and stress? If there was a weight loss solution that could actually work for you, would you try it? Then head to Golo.com.
I'm Steve. I lost 138 pounds in 9 months on Golo.
I'm Amber. I've lost 128 pounds with Golo Taking Release.
If you're ready to take back control of your life, head to Golo.com now and see how Golo can work for you. That's GOLO.com.
My sleep is way better. My inflammation has gone way down. Golo saved my life. I was way overweight. That's what sent me down the path. I wanted to make sure and live for my kid.
I have literally tried everything. I was on the verge of getting gastric bypass surgery, and I saw the Golo commercial, and it was the last thing I tried because it worked.
Join over 2 million people who have found a better way to lose weight with Golo. Your healthier and happier life begins at Golo.com. That's GOLO.com. Again, GOLO.com.
Millions of people every day venture out to a grocery store to pick up necessary items. We all go in expecting to buy our food or whatever else and not worry about something being off. We certainly want to believe that we are safe. For the vast majority of those that go to buy their groceries, we'll have no problems at all. But that can't be said for those who went shopping at the Tops Friendly Market grocery store in Buffalo, New York, just over a week ago. In this episode, I will be discussing the Buffalo, New York Tops Friendly Market active shooter. Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of Music City 911. So this episode, I'm going to start off by talking about this active shooter that happened up in Buffalo. I requested copies of the 911 calls, but the local government of Buffalo has decided that any 911 call that are placed there within their jurisdiction would not be released to the public. That's not just for this incident, but every incident. Media and the public alike are not going to be able to listen to any calls placed there. What I do have in this episode is a mixture of the police and fire radio dispatch audio that was taken from a scanner in the area. Pretty sure this has only been talked about, but hasn't been played anywhere else, so you'll be the first to hear it. I will have to explain a few things about what you're going to hear, though. As I said, this is audio from a scanner. For those of you that haven't listened to a scanner before, it's not like listening directly to a radio channel. It scans and stops to listen when there's audio, only when it's being played. And if there's a long enough gap, the scanner's going to jump to the next signal it finds. So this is going to be all police. It's not going to be all fire. There's going to be some of both traffic mixed in with it. You'll also be missing some transmissions because of this. But overall, you're going to be able to get an idea of what's going on and how it developed on the police and fire's response. I've whittled down a good portion of the audio to bring in a little over 10 minutes on it. Keep in mind, too, that this incident was far from over when I cut off the audio. There was still radio traffic going on for hours and likely even days about this. This will be just the initial response. If anyone would like to hear more about it, feel free to message me and I can let you know where to go to listen to the audio past this point, because there is a lot. Let's go ahead and get going with this, and I'll talk more about the incident afterwards.
You got the cards for Shotsburg, 1275 Jefferson. Is 1275 Jefferson.
Dispatch 34 is go. 34 responding.
What's the address, Reno?
1275 Jeff.
Jones, Reno?
19 in service.
2 people down right now. People down. Clear.
Fire dispatch, 33 is in service. 33 in.
Radio, send as many cars as you possibly can.
Need more cars?
Dispatch truck 6. Ladder 6. Just received a civilian report of a police officer shot north of Jefferson. Sounded like it was in the top. Roger.
We're going to need a lieutenant over here.
5-1's coming. Jot's still in the store.
6 fire dispatch. Roger, dispatch. Ladder 6, if you're en route there, we got an update. Possible active shooter at the top. There are still shots being fired. We're going to stand down. PD's on location. There's at least one car. They're already drawn us. Roger. Truck 6, is there a scene there? Should we get a EMS stage? We got at least 3 people down on the ground. I can't tell you about shooting. This might be an individual with body armor. PD have them about 20 feet out. Their security guard just gave us 2 people down so far. PD's got them cornered. Looks like 3 people face down at least. Roger. Additional equipment to the tops at Jefferson, 1275 Jefferson between Riley and Laurel. For an active shooter mass casualty incident, let's go for 21 F20 and B43. Additional equipment. Respond to 1275 Jefferson between Riley and Laurel to the tops for an active shooter. Possible multiple victims. Let's go for engine 21, F20, B43 companies responding. Be advised, there's still an active scene. Stage for police. Time is 14:35, Buffalo Fire. 4-3, responding.
At least 3 people shot. Give me 2 more resources.
Roger, at least 2 people shot. What you got over there?
Stand by, Chief.
Notified.
Radio, if you got any more cars, there's a lot of crowd here.
That's PD waving us in. We got at least 2 shots. Looks like going to be code. One's gun secure. One suspect is in custody. Let the ambulance know to come in on the south side up top. Roger, Wilco. Update, 3 shots. At least 2 headshots. Roger. 4-3. Dispatch truck 6. Truck 6, go. Update from PD, they're working on clearing the scene. They're working on clearing the store. They have 1 individual in custody. Roger, letter 6, they're working on clearing the store, but they have 1 in custody. 4-3, you're trying to get a hold of truck 6? Truck 6, 4-3. Dispatch 4-4, I'm going to head over that way, level 1. Roger, we'll let you to the call. Dispatch F40 is heading over that way too. Roger, F40, we'll let you to the call.
At least 3 down inside.
3 down inside so far, 2 outside, radio.
You got more in here.
21 truck 6.
7, you're clear. They have 1 in custody as well.
21 truck 6, what's your location?
Engine 21's on Riley, number 2 side of tops. Number 4 side correction.
4-3 on location. 4-3 on location.
Sig, top clear?
Top is clear.
Clear, could we have... Did you find one?
I just informed 911 Lieutenant what was going on here. Duty officer is on the way. Officers that's over here on scene, we're going to have to take off this area. And also I notified 911 to contact homicide. We have bodies down here.
4-4 is on location. 4-4 on location. Buffalo Fire.
Homicide copy, en route.
Buffalo Fire from F26. I'm going to head to that active shooter scene. You can add me to that call, please.
Roger, will call. Engine?
Charge 251 radio.
Roger, Wilco. Dispatch truck 6. Had a couple more rigs coming this way.
Roger, will call. Letter 6. Chief requested an extra pumper.
Charlie 211 radio. Charlie 211, go ahead.
Additional equipment to 1275 Jefferson between Riley and Laurel. Let's go for engine 33 and engine 3. Additional equipment to 1275 Jefferson between Riley and Laurel at top. Let's go for engine 33 and engine 3. Your time is 14:41. Buffalo Fire. 4-3, 4-4. 4-3. 4-3, what's your location? Lobby. Dispatch 4-4. 4-4, go. Let's move this operation over to Channel 3. Channel 3, please. All company Somebody's on Jefferson, responding to Jefferson, go to channel 3. This incident's going to channel 3. Time now is 14:42.
Engine 21, report to the brig.
8081. Also, we're going to need some officers inside the tops because we have numerous bodies and we have magazines and bullets and everything. So we need evidence secured.
Okay, clear.
It's 47 on 1.
47 on channel 1, go.
Let's get 34 to grab the MCI rig. Get that over to Jefferson.
Roger, B47. B47, at this time we have 34 on a call. Stand by, we'll check the status. Engine 34, this is fire dispatch.
Dispatch, go for 34.
Engine 34, are you still on scene on Rodney?
Affirmative, we're loading the patient up now.
Roger, Engine 34, as per B47, when you pick up, they want you to go get the MCI rig.
75 Jefferson, they need assisting with traffic, crowd control, and for other things.
Charlie 211 radio. All right, the suspect pulled up in Delta Henry 8025.
Okay, sir.
We're going to need some more officers in Landon. A lot of family members here looking for their other family members.
Okay, clear. Any officers that are responding over to Landon to help out with family members, tell your channel that you're on.
Charlie 251 radio.
Charlie 251, go ahead.
Yeah, for officers on the scene, especially inside the top, make sure that when the ambulance come inside, that they don't disturb the scene. Anybody that's already deceased, we need to leave them there until homicide comes to the scene, please. We have to maintain the integrity of this scene.
Route to 33's quarters to pick up the MCI rig.
34, you're in service from your call in route to 33 to pick up the MCI rig. 34, you need to bring the MCI rig to Riley and Jefferson. Riley and Jefferson, please acknowledge.
34 copy.
Radio correction, there's 3 bodies outside. That's 2. There's 3 bodies outside. So 9 total.
Officers that are inside. There is employees that are by the customer service. They're in a room, locked in a room.
So check it out. DO3 to reach. DO3, go ahead.
Any other officers coming to this scene, EMC district have it under control inside the tape. They need to control the tape line to make sure nobody comes inside this crime scene.
That's clear. I'll bolo all channel.
Dispatch, you copy?
Christina, come back. District Vehicle 43 has 2 witnesses in it.
With that, you heard how everything developed. It started out with a call about shots fired. Very limited info was had as to what was actually happening when they were responding, and then they got on the scene. Then when they actually arrived at the market, they started finding people shot in the parking lot. Some were already deceased. Initially, they only found 2 outside. Then they say 3. When they made it inside, more were found. The shooter was also still inside. One of the victims was a retired police officer who was employed as a security guard there. He exchanged gunfire with the suspect, and he did hit him, but the suspect was wearing body armor. For those who don't know, there are varying levels of body armor. Most of them can withstand hits from almost any handgun, which I'm sure is what this security guard was armed with. Soft body armor, usually made from Kevlar, it's a more lightweight armor, and while it will withstand the bullet's penetration, the person wearing it can still definitely feel a good amount of pain when you're shot with it on. I'm guessing he had some heavier, likely AR-500 level 3 plus or higher armor on. This AR-500 is made of steel, and when it's hit, the power from the bullet is dispersed over the area of the steel, making it not felt nearly as much as with the soft body armor. So like I said, I would imagine he was wearing this. Most of that stuff is rifle rated too, able to withstand 5.56 and 308 bullets, which are used in sniper rifles and AR-15. If he wanted to have a shootout with incoming police, even if they had standard issued AR-15s, they might have had problems with him. From the pictures of the suspect standing outside in handcuffs with police, I believe he was probably wearing a plate carrier that housed the armor plate. I'm not sure if he had any sort of ballistic helmet on or not. Direct hits, center mass on someone wearing armor like this will likely have little to no effect on him. For any officers or security guards or even licensed civilian carriers, I highly suggest looking into training to counter such armor. There are ways to do this. If he was wearing the standard armor like that, it would have likely covered just the front and maybe the back portion of his torso. Shooting him on the side or in the head could have stopped him. So as I've said in previous episodes, if you're going to be carrying, be sure to have your training in as well. But regardless of the style of armor he had on, and getting back to the incident, when police arrived and confronted the shooter, he had a gun held to either his head or his neck. Varying reports on that. Police managed to talk to him, and he removed the gun from his head, at which time they took him into custody. A few alarming discoveries happened after the shooting actually went down, though. They found that the shooter had an account on the video social media platform called Twitch. It's generally used by gamers to live stream themselves playing video games. In this instance, though, the shooter was live streaming the actual shooting. Luckily, the service took the video down within minutes. I'm hoping police got hold of the video, though, as it will definitely help their case against the shooter. The shooter, Peyton Gendron, who's only 18 years old, seemed like he had a lot going on, and not in a good way. He wrote a 180-page manifesto detailing everything about the shooting, what led up to it, his decisions about what to wear, what sort of guns to buy and use, and especially his many racist and anti-Semitic thoughts. He specifically outlines his hatred for black people and Jewish people, but seemed to leave out a lot of others. He also didn't talk about women or having a hatred for them or feminism, and also, surprisingly, he does say he has no problem at all with the LGBT community. He just seems all over the place. Just a year ago, while still in high school, his class was assigned a school project asking about their plans past the graduation. He said he wanted to commit a murder-suicide. Because of that, he was put in for a mental evaluation, but released just a couple days later, and was never pinged for the state's red flag law, which would have made him surrender any firearms he did own, as well as make it so he couldn't legally buy more guns. And he did buy a gun. Legally, he went and bought a version of an AR-15, and then illegally modified it to bring it out of the New York state law's restrictions. But regardless of what he did with the guns or whatever, this red flag law that was put in place to reduce or stop things like this didn't help stop this shooting at all. I'm glad that, at minimum, he's been caught and that the shooting was stopped, but that wasn't before 10 people died and another 3 were injured during the shooting. I have a feeling this dude is in for a rude time when he gets to prison, as he should. This whole thing is all beyond horrible, and there was really no reason for any of it to happen. Something past that was not directly related to the shooter himself, and many of you have sent me emails and messages and posts on our group. News has been circulating that one of the dispatchers received a 911 call from an employee inside the store, and in that call, the employee was whispering, which supposedly angered the dispatcher, at which point the dispatcher hung up on the caller. I have zero way to verify if any of this happened, or if it happened as the employee said. Right now, I'm only going to say partially my opinion on it. I would hope that no dispatcher would ever do anything like this. We've had similar incidents in Nashville with active shooters and employees or guests of the store or whatever. They call from where the shooting's happening. I want to believe that any dispatcher would do everything they can within the policy of their center to help these people. I know that some centers have rules in place that if you determine that the caller can provide no further info regarding the shooter, suspect, or any patients, the call can be terminated. That way you can field more calls about maybe where the suspect is or what's going on. And when I say the call can be terminated, by that I mean that the caller can be hung up on, hopefully after they're told that help is on the way and to either run or shelter in a safe place. But that would only happen if they couldn't add to the incident itself, and only if there's other calls waiting to be answered. Policies like this vary from one town to the next, so it's hard to say if the agency in Buffalo has a policy that's similar. Another policy is that the cell phone itself could have been disconnected or dropped the call suddenly, which actually does happen very often, and the dispatcher didn't want to alert the shooter to where the location of the caller was by calling the phone back. Again, I'm not saying that's what happened. It's just a possibility. But there's also the possibility that, just like in the episode I did called Bad Dispatcher, which I know all of y'all have heard, that the dispatcher being accused of this actually did it, just as the employee said. The problem is we may never exactly know, since the calls won't be released for public scrutiny. The director of the center has placed the dispatcher on administrative leave, and, as said during a press conference, he listened to the call and he has suggested termination for the dispatcher. I'm just like pretty much everyone else that I've talked to about this, and that we want to hear the call. But as I said before, this won't be happening. I can see both sides to this argument of not releasing info to the public in regards to the 911 calls, but at its base, these calls are a request for a public service, which is police, or fire, or medical. Specifically in this case, I don't think releasing the calls would hurt any prosecution against the shooter. In cases like that where something critical to the case is held in the 911 call, I can understand withholding the release, but just till after the trial. I really wish I had more to talk about with this, but without the 911 calls to outline this further, it's harder to get a more direct picture of how it all went down. Obviously, we know what the outcome of everything was: an obvious racist shooter who targeted mostly black people in his attack. Like I said before, I'm glad he's caught, and I got a feeling he's going to get a good dose of prison justice once he gets in. So unfortunately, that's all I have for this episode, but before I go, if you're wanting a little bit more from my world of podcasting, it's a great time to join my Patreon. I'm starting to release bonus content there, and right now, it's open on every level of Patreon. The first bonus content is me discussing the validity of a 911 call on the podcast Tapes from the Dark Side with my podcasting friend TZ, the host of the show. The episode itself is actually pretty long, and we discuss many other cases as well, one of which even shocked me. If you want to check that out, head over to patreon.com/MusicCity911, and you'll find a link down in the description. Also, something that may interest you even more than that, apparently y'all like my little exit phrase of "y'all have a good'un." Message received. Head over to teespring.com/MC911 and scroll down to the bottom of the page to pick up your own "Y'all Have a Good'un" t-shirt or tank top. As to the look of it, how we describe it in the South, it's alright. Be sure to share the show with your coworkers and family and friends, especially those who love the true crime genre. And of course, join up with the social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even more past that, the Music City 911 Facebook discussion group, which is where I hang out the most. Until next time, from Music City 911, I'm Brandon, and y'all have a good one.